Howdy ladies and turds. Stu here with another banger. So most guitars have about 114 to 144 notes on the fretboard, and they're not laid out easy in repetition like a piano. Now you might be saying to yourself, man, I'm never gonna memorize all the notes. I might as well just give up the guitar and start stalking celebrities. Well, fret no more, mi amigos. I'm going to show you a life hack how you can memorize all those silly little notes in just 14 days. In just 2 weeks, you'll know the entire fretboard, and for the rest of your life, your musical journey will be that much easier. First, we're going to make this a lot easier by only focusing on the first 12 frets. Everything past this is just an octave up from the first 12, and an octave is the same note, just 12 frets up. So if we know the first 12, then we can easily get the next 12 later on. Also, we're only focusing on the natural notes. If we know where our natural notes are, then we can easily find our sharps and flats, also known as accidentals. Quick note, there aren't any accidentals between B and C and between E and F. And now this takes our daunting task from around 144 notes down to only 48 notes, so already getting pretty easy. Next, we have to remember that most guitar frets have marks indicating the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 12th fret. These anchor points can help our eyes and hands keep track of the notes. And the last thing before we get going is to know our open notes. If your guitar is tuned to the most common guitar tuning known as E standard, then starting from the 6th string, or the fattest string, and moving to the 1st string, our notes are E, A, D, G, B, and E. A great mnemonic device for remembering this is Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Remember, when practicing, it's super important that we say the note and the fret number out loud as we play them. Alright, let's begin. So day 1, we're just going to memorize the natural notes on the 6th string, or the low E string. The open E all the way up to the E on the 12th fret, there's just 8 notes, so it's pretty simple. For day 2, we're going to go ahead and memorize the natural notes on the 5th string, or the A string. After you feel like you've gotten these down, then go back over the notes for day 1. For day 3, you can see a pattern. We're going to go ahead and memorize the notes on the 4th string, or the D string, and once you get those down, go back over days 1 and 2. For day 4, memorize the notes on the 3rd string, or the G string, then go back over the previous days. For day 5, you're going to memorize the notes on the 2nd string, or the B string, and you're going to go back over days 1 through 4 again. Now here's where I'm going to throw you a curveball for day 6. So the 1st string, or the high E string, is the exact same layout as the low E string. So you're going to go ahead and go over these strings just like all the others, but since this one is going to be an easy one for you, I'm going to introduce octaves and unisons. So an octave is the distance between two musical notes that have the same letter name, but one note will vibrate slower, giving it a lower sound or a lower pitch, and one note will vibrate faster, giving it a higher sound. Now, unison is the same note vibrating at the same frequency, but just played on 2 different spots on the guitar neck. So we're going to find all the octaves and unisons and practice them. It's going to sound like a lot of work, but it's really not. Once you remember the hand shapes and the positions, it'll be super simple. So you've already noticed that the open string and their 12th fret are an octave apart. Now you can pick any note on the low E or the A string and move up 2 frets and then move up 2 strings, and there's another octave. Now we'll pick any note on the D or G string and we're going to move up 3 frets and then move up 2 strings, and you'll find another octave. Now we're going to pick any note on the high E string or B string and we're going to move up 2 frets and then move down 3 strings. There's another octave. We're going to pick any note on the G string and we're going to move up 3 frets and we're going to move down 3 strings. There's another octave. Go ahead and place your finger on the 7th fret of the A, D, G, or high E string, or the 8th fret of the B string, and play the string just below it to find another octave. Now for the unisons. These are really tough to play, but there's one position you may already be familiar with. If you put your finger on the 5th fret of the low E, A, D, or the B string, or the 4th fret of the G string, then play the string above it, you'll notice it's the same note. This is the unison note. This is actually how you would tune the guitar to itself. On all strings except for the G string, if you go back 5 frets and then 1 string up, you'll find the unison. On the G string, you would just go back 4 frets and then move up 1 string to find that unison. So it sounds like a lot, it's really not. You're just memorizing hand shapes. Go ahead and practice all of this for day 6, and once you get that down, just go back over days 1 through 5. So it's actually super simple from here on out. For day 7, we're going to memorize a few more mnemonics. We're going to focus on all the notes that run across the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 10th frets. So we can remember the 3rd fret notes by saying, Gary can forge a sharp dagger of gold. Notice the A sharp on the 3rd string. For the 5th fret, we can say, a dog got caught eating apples. The 7th fret is a little different. It actually spells out the word bead for part of it. So I like to remember this one by saying bead for bead. The lower 4 strings spell out B-E-A-D. The 2nd string is actually an F sharp, and the 1st string is a B note. So bead for bead. The 10th fret, we can just say, Dad's Gibson caught fire and died. Gibson is one of the most well-known guitar companies, just in case you didn't know. You'll also notice the 5th and 10th fret are all natural notes. Memorize all these and then go back over the previous days. And now for the home stretch. For day 8, we're going to memorize all the A notes on the fretboard. Remember to say the notes and the fret number out loud to help with your memory. And then you'll go back over days 1 through 7. For day 9, you're going to memorize all the C notes and then go back over the previous days. For day 10, you'll remember all the E notes. For day 11, it'll be the G notes. Day 12, the B notes. Day 13, the D notes. And for the final day, day 14, you're going to memorize all the F notes. Remember, say all the notes and the fret numbers out loud, and each day, go back and repractice all the previous days. That's it. Easy peasy. Now for the rest of your life, when you're practicing, just go ahead and say the notes and the fret numbers out loud, and your memory will just become rock solid. If you want to remember all the notes past the 12th fret, just repeat this process starting at the 12th fret and move upwards. So that wraps it up for this lesson. If you learned something, squish that like button and subscribe for more sweet vids. I'm Stu, and I'll catch you later. Now, you might be saying to yourself, man, I'm never